If he's smart one of the family. He's in the warm spot, right? In the warm spot.
I'm president and the committees. That's it, man.
Who knows? Let's get started. All right. It's 5 o'clock, and we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Everybody please join me and rise and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Bobby Bishop.
Here.
Charlie Hastings.
Here.
Chuck Liddell.
Here.
Gary Fox.
Here.
Jeremy Ashcraft. Joe Buck.
Here.
Teresa Toljoy. Present.
Make a motion approval of minutes, December 19th meeting.
I need to make a motion to amend the minutes as presented. On paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, under election costs, the minutes reflected it was $2,020,169.31 we were billed for. It's just a typo, but it was actually $20,169.31.
There's an extra 20 in there?
Yeah, there's an extra 20.
I would also like to request an amendment to paragraph 3. Mark Lehman was not present. Kelly Lehman was here, and Mark was not in that attendance at that meeting.
That's two.
Is there any objection to those two amendments? We'll go ahead and approve them with your suggestions. We'll call them typos instead of changes. Okay. Comments of the mayor. I'll keep them brief. First of all, I started looking for my gavel before I came up here and realized I don't have one. Maybe I'll find it later. But bear with me tonight if I tap my hand. The other thing to council, I want to welcome you all. I'm so thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled that you're here with me. Since there are so many of you that are new, I just want to read part of Indiana Code to you, and that's Indiana Code 3644, separation of powers. The separation of powers of a city are divided between the executive and legislative branches of its government. A power belonging to one branch of the city's government may not be exercised by the other branch. Powers of the executive branch are all powers and duties of the city that are executive or administrative in nature shall be exercised and performed by the executive, another city officer, or a city department. And the legislative powers and duties read that the legislative power of a city is vested in its legislative body. All powers and duties of a city that are legislative in nature shall be exercised and performed by its legislative body. The legislative body of a city may not elect or appoint a person to any office or employment except as provided by statute. The only reason I was saying that, folks, is I want you to understand that there is a separation of powers. You have your duties and responsibilities, and I want you to know that I will not try to influence your duties and responsibilities. They are yours. You are the council. You're the legislative body, and we'll certainly live with your decisions. I appreciate you being here, and I just wanted to share that with you. And we will go on now to petitions or comments of citizens.
Point of order, we never voted on our minutes.
I'm sorry. Thanks.
Yep.
Oh, the minutes, yeah.
Well, we haven't had a second on accepting them, and then a call for vote.
Thank you.
I'll second. Yep. Joe Buck, second. Call for question.
Bear with us up here.
Okay.
Bob Bishop.
Yes. What are we? The minutes, approval of the minutes.
Okay.
Charlie Hastings.
Yes.
Chuck Liddell.
Yes.
Gary Fox.
Yes.
Teresa Toljoy.
Yes.
Joe Perry?
Yes.
That's yours up.
That's okay.
Okay, the minutes are approved on a vote of 6-0 with 1 absent. Petitions or comments of citizens. Again, if you would, please come to the microphone. And I apologize, we're going to use this mic over here on the end today because the one that usually sits in the middle of the table is over in the Board of Works, pardon me, Utility Service Board room. And it was used over there yesterday for the swearing-in ceremony. And the people who have the knowledge to hook it up back over here are not here today. So,
Respectfully, yes, Your Honor, for the first time.
thank you. Please state your name and address.
Michael Berkshire, 528 Bates Street, Logansport, Indiana. To the new ones, welcome to the frying pan. All right. It says petitions or comments by the citizens. So I'm going to put this in the form of a petition. Some of you are aware of this. Some of you are not. And I'm going to make you aware of it. Several years ago, I made the previous administration aware of the fact that in 1916, they entered into an agreement with the estate of Judge Dyckman. The agreement was basically Judge Dyckman's estate donated a large section of property to the city of Logansport for the use as a park with a couple stipulations. One was that the park be named Forever Dyckman Park. Two, that the city of Logansport expend at least $1,000 a year on improvements in that park. The third one is that that park be administered by a committee of 3 people, one appointed by the city council, one appointed by the circuit court judge of Cass County, and one appointed by the Cass County commissioners. That board has never been set up in almost 100 years. It was my contention, and it still is my contention, that the city therefore is violated, if not legally, its moral obligation to the estate of Judge Dyckman. Judge Dyckman, his estate, gave title of that property to the city. The city has benefited from that property for almost 100 years. And therefore, I contended that the city should set up that board. Previous administration disagreed. They said no. It's been almost 100 years. Nobody contested it in that 100 years. They saw no need to do that. The result was that stack of papers going right up to and including the Indiana State Supreme Court. The Cliffy Notes is this. At no time did the previous administration deny the existence of that agreement. At no time did the previous administration deny that it was a city ordinance. Their claim was nobody done it in 100 years, they're not going to do it. In all this legal documentation, all this writings, they never denied the existence. They never denied that they agreed to do this, but they never actually implemented it. Now, contrary to popular belief, the court ruling was against me. But the court ruling said that after 80 years, 90 years, I did not have any right to contest it. It didn't say anything about, the agreement didn't stand. It didn't say anything about there was no trust. It said that Michael Berkshire was not in a position to contest it. So it dismissed the case. My question to this new administration is, after 100 years, almost 100 years, will this new administration live up to the agreement that was signed in 1916? Will this administration set up a park board to administer Dyckman Park, as it should? As we all know, the budgets are tight. You're not going to get money from the state. You're not going to get that much money from taxes. You'll find out that you want to enlarge your parks department. You want to enlarge different parts of the city and do things. And you need money for that. And one of the ways to get money for that is to get donations from citizens and groups. If I were to win the lotto I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna donate anything because you guys can't be trusted. You don't live up to this agreement. So why should anyone else? So my stance is, my petition here tonight is I'm asking you guys, set up this board. I'm asking the mayor, I'm asking the new administration to do what previous administrations did not do and live up to the bargain that was made. That's all I've got to say. Believe it or not, that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Reports from committees, boards, and commissions.
I'd just like to report that the Finance Committee met at 4:45 tonight, and that 6 of the 7 members were present at that time.
Okay. Any more committees? All right. Old business. There is no old business. Moving along to new business. I'm sorry. New business, Resolution 12-01. Councilman Bishop.
A resolution organizing the Logansport Common Council presidency and standing committee membership for the year 2012. Your Honor, I move that we read this list in the entirety and vote on it in
Second.
its entirety.
Second?
This is in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
Okay. For presidency, it's Charlie Hastings. For Finance Committee, Teresa Pope Joy, Chair, Bob Bishop, and Gary Fox. For Parks, Bob Bishop, Chair, Joe Buck, Charlie Hastings. For Utilities, Charlie Hastings, Chair, Joe Buck, Jeremy Ashcraft. For Public Safety, Joe Buck, Chair, Bob Bishop, Charlie Hastings. For Public Works, Gary Fox, Chair, Teresa Pope Joy, Chuck Liddell. Rules, Chuck Liddell, Chair, Jeremy Ashcraft, Gary Fox. Planning and Economic Development, Jeremy Ashcraft, Chair, Teresa Pope Joy, and Chuck Liddell.
I need a second.
Second to nominations.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded
For the presidency.
for the presidency and the other committees as was just written, and you all have a copy of it. So, is there any discussion? No discussion on Resolution 1201. I'll call for a vote on Resolution, call for the question on Resolution 1201.
Bob Bishop,
Yes.
Charlie Hastings.
Yes.
Chuck Liddell,
No.
Gary Fox,
Yes.
Teresa Pope Joy,
Yes.
Joe Buck.
Yes.
Did we hear